complex industry. And we can't compare the amount of people in Venezuela. We have 30 million in Venezuela. Here we have 300,000 million. So it's a lot of people competing for the same thing. But again, there are a lot of things happening as well. There are a lot of networks. So you would think that you would get the chance. It would be easier to get the chance. But that's not the truth. So, well, I'm here, to be honest, I'm starting from scratch. And the way that I feel myself with strength, it's that I think, well, if I made it in Venezuela, where there were only 2 major networks in one country, why can't I make it here? But still, I'm struggling and trying to focus on everything that I have to do to become part of this industry.
Before we continue talking about being part of the biggest industry and the marquee in Hollywood and all the dreams and goals that you might have pending to pursue, we have another question through social media. So Daniel Rodriguez is asking us, what is the character that you have felt most identified with?
Wow. That's funny because for some reason I feel so grateful and thankful for all my characters. Fatima Laporto, I enjoy it so much. I discovered things in Fatima Laporto that I didn't even know that I could do or that I could have. When I received the character of Fatima Laporto and they told me, okay, you're going to play a Portuguese woman. I didn't even know that I knew how to create a Portuguese accent. Those are things that as an actor you start to find out and figure out and discover. So, but then I did it. And again, talking about my characters, for example, Entre Huevo y Huevo Pollito, this was this campesina, this peasant from Huárico. I grew up going to Huárico because we had a farm there. So I knew exactly how people from Huárico, this is a region in Venezuela, spoke. So again, I added that to my character. In Entre Huevo y Huevo Pollito, she's a woman from Huárico, actually. My favorite characters, or the one I feel most identified with, I also have a character of a little girl, which was my creation, which I plan to, in some moment in my life, make public. Even though I work for HSN, Home Shopping Network in Tampa, with this character, my character of Pilitas. Pilitas is a little girl. I think that's the character that I most relate to, because I'm the youngest of 7 siblings. So I guess that has to do with it. Yeah, and even though I'm grown up, I'm very childish. I laugh a lot. I'm serious, very responsible. But I guess Pilitas, she's so naive, she's so funny, and she tells jokes, and she's bilingual, because it was my creation. So I think Pilitas is one of the characters that I relate most to.
So tell us a little bit more about Pilitas. You mentioned Tampa. So that means before going and pursue your goals and dreams in Hollywood, that means that you lived in Tampa, right? In Florida.
Yes.
So
I lived in Tampa, in Miami. Mm-hmm. And then when I arrived I lived for around 8 years in Miami. And when I arrived, I was already... had already done my career in Venezuela with Entre Huevo y Huevo Pollito and all the soap operas. But I decided to go to Miami to live. And when I got there, first thing I did was to turn on the TV and find out which channels there were that I could get into. And then I found the program of Telemundo, and then I created Pilitas. And then when they saw me, a producer saw me doing Pilitas, they needed a character, a little girl's character, to sell the toys in Tampa in Home Shopping Network, which is a network that sells goods. Mm-hmm. But they also, during Christmas, they would sell toys. So they had the big hosts and hostesses selling toys. So they called Pilitas to sell the toys in Home Shopping Network in St. Pete, in close to Tampa in Florida. So that's how I started to work with Pilitas on television. And those programs from Home Shopping Network, they would broadcast for Mexico as well. So I had to work this Mexico schedule. So I had to wake up at 2 a.m. in the morning, put the makeup, the little ponytails, work on, go live because it was live, go live till 3:30 a.m., then go back to bed, get out take off the ponytails, and wake up again at 5 o'clock again a.m. and do the other shift because I wanted to comply with the Mexican community that I wanted to see the program live. So I said, well, I'm gonna do this. It doesn't matter if I have to wake up at 2 a.m., 5 a.m., and then again at 10 a.m. And that's how the rhythm was when I used to work for Home Shopping Network with Pilitas.
So you mentioned something really important, and it's working with Pilitas for that audience in Mexico. And that brings this question out, which will be, Maria Elena, how important is the audience for you? How important is everybody's ideas, criticism, points of view, concerns, opinions about who Maria Elena is an actress?
Well, it is important. I just lived an experience of having a video that went viral, and I received 150% good comments. But I also received a couple of nasty, harsh comments because people didn't recognize me when I did this video. They thought that I was just, I came from out of the blue, or that I didn't have a background or a professional career. So they thought, who's this girl doing this? It is important. It affects you, the good and the bad. And I also mentioned in one of my posts recently that as influencers, we are influencers for the good, but we are influencers for the bad as well. So we have to be extremely careful what we are delivering, what message we are delivering. So when you ask me if it's important for me what people think about me, or if they judge me, or about my career, of course it is important. I'm a human being. It hurts. It hurts me. It hurts my family. Thank God my family is not into social business or social network, because it hurts me and it hurts them, and I don't want to hurt them, especially. So it affects us, of course. We're human beings. And when people have these strange thoughts, oh, she's in Hollywood, so she's a millionaire. Mm-hmm. That's not the case. I mean, we're working here as hard as everyone, mm-hmm. trying to pursue our dreams. And it's even harder because we're trying to pursue something that doesn't depend on you. It depends on a lot of people, mm-hmm. a lot of factors. So it affects us. Of course it does. The good and the bad. And I think for the good, and I try to overcome the bad, and I try to educate people. If it's in my hands, in my reach, I try. But it affects us, definitely.
You mentioned something about a video that you posted on social media and being an influencer of the good. Can you talk to us a little bit about that video? What was the message you were trying to deliver to the audience out there, your followers, the people that maybe forgot that Maria Elena Heredia had an acting career in Venezuela that goes back in time and has a life in the entertainment business now in Los Angeles after going through maybe good things and not so good things. So what was the message that Maria Elena was trying to deliver through that video, and what was the video about?
Well, sometimes, to be extremely honest, we are fed up with social networks, to be honest. Social media, social networks, because they're, at least, I'm a sensitive person. I'm an empathetic person. And sometimes what I wanted to say with my video, first of all, it wasn't my intention to make a video go viral. It wasn't my intention. It became viral. Because it became viral because of what I was saying had a message. And a lot of people felt that message had something important in it. When I did this video, it's because, first of all, I posted it on my social network for my followers, my friends, my community, my people. But then what happened was that I did this, the House of Flowers voiceover, the dubbing in English. And then I posted that news. I am glad, I'm so honored that as a Venezuelan, I got cast to do the English voice for the House of Flowers, a Netflix series. I'm so happy. I posted it twice on my social network, social media, on Instagram specifically. And nothing happened. Nothing happened according to my community. Why do I say nothing happened? I'm not asking that the country has to stop because I did that.
Mm-hmm.
No. What I saw was that everything I say or every post I post, it gets a lot of views or a lot of likes, and they are funny or and they are not significant enough, and they are just, making mocking something. But then I post something which I consider relevant. It's a job. It's professional in my community, with my people, my followers, and nobody paid attention to that. So that was my call to action. I said, what's going on here?
Mm-hmm.
This is my friends. This is my people. This is my community. I do funny things or irrelevant things, and they like, but I do something serious, job-related, work-related, that I consider relevant in my life, and maybe, in my career, and then they didn't do anything. It didn't get the response that I wanted. So I did the video for myself, for my community, and what I expressed was, hey, what's going on here? If it was a porn video, it would have gotten a lot of likes, because we see that every day.
Correct.
You get a porn video or a half-naked woman, and that gets a lot of likes. So, but when you post something relevant, serious, a job, a work you have done, or anybody in and out of Venezuela, something that has to be taken into account, pass. I want to see the porn video. I want to see the half-naked girl. So that was my call to action. That was my message. The thing is that as we were telling, a lot of people, maybe they saw me younger. A lot of people didn't recognize me. I was not wearing Fatima's wigs or the bandana that I used to wear as Entre Huevo y Pollito. So they thought that I was, who's this lady telling? It appeared for some of them that didn't recognize me as a rant for ego or lower esteem, and that was not the case. I didn't want to be applauded for that. I thank for that, and yes, as artists, we need the applause. Mm-hmm. That's what we live out from. That's what we live from. Sometimes we don't even get money for things that we do.
It's true.
I'm working in these 2 plays at the festival in Hollywood. We're not getting paid for that. It's just our passion. It's our passion. So I didn't make it mainly to get the applause. I did it because I wanted people to get the right dimension, the right measure of things when we post and when we approve something on social media. What's going on? Why are we approving so much these videos? And the other thing, Jose, is that people told me in a very, sort of aggressive way, you need a PR, a public relations manager. You need the press to take care of that. No, because nobody calls the press or a PR or a public relations manager to make a porn video viral. It goes viral because the users like it a lot, view it a lot, and that makes that video viral. So it was not about the press. And thank God, by the way, that all the press covered my news in that way, the way it had to be. A job that a Venezuelan is performing outside Venezuela.
So the message was delivered correctly in the best way possible, because you were trying to let people know, hey, listen, you need to celebrate our accomplishments, which are positive, and we can serve as maybe people that we can look up to if we have any dreams and goals, and you can serve as real life stories. And that's the reason that why you're here today, to deliver that important message for people like you who have dreams and goals, people that are constantly working hard for making their wildest dreams come true. You mentioned something really important, Maria Elena.